Consider this an invaluable lesson from history. If you have a big dream, a seemingly impossible dream, go at it with full force. Prepare for challenges like you are fighting battles. Retreat when it is needed and learn from your lost battles. For if you never give up on the war, if you are destined to win and you don't give up after every battle that seemingly never ends, days would come when you would meet fulfillment, not out of winning the war, but from the successes and achievements you experience along the way. Because in this continuous world that seems like it would never end, you can never really win the war of life. What's up, Earthlings? Welcome to episode 19 of History's Most Influential Humans. I am your humble and intellectually curious host, Damilare Mapa. Even I am hoping today's episode isn't long because it's not easy gathering these facts. But most times I get synced into these personalities and their interesting stories. So without further ado, I present to you a man popularly known as El Libertador or the Liberator, who freed Latin America from the Spanish Empire and was named after the country Bolivia. He is no other than Simon Bolivar. Born on the 24th July 1783 in a house in Caracas, Venezuela, which is now a museum, he was named Simon Jose Antonio de la Santísima Trinidad Bolivar y Palacios. Oh boy, that was really hard to say, and I doubt I pronounced it very well. His father died before his third birthday, and his mother died when he was almost 9 years old. After which he was cared for mostly by a slave named Hippolyta, who couldn't really control or give him the almost perfect upbringing two parents would have. That's probably why he grew up being a playful, arrogant, and annoying young boy, and also the fact that his family was filthy rich, owning estates, mines, and slaves. Bolivar grew up with no formal education, as none seemed to be able to tame the wildness of this young boy, until he met a man called Don Simon Rodriguez, who became Bolivar's teacher, friend, and mentor, and taught him so much knowledge on Bolivar's own terms because of how stubborn he was. Rodriguez taught Bolivar how to swim, ride horses, and taught him his personal beliefs on human rights, politics, history, sociology, and so much more, originating from Rodriguez's love for some specific intellectuals such as Rousseau, Locke, and Voltaire. This knowledge he got from his teacher was the foundation of Bolivar's thought of liberating his people from colonization of the Spanish Empire at the time. Note, at this period, the world powers, the English, Spanish, and French, were all fighting for their strongholds as colonists and world powers, all the way from Europe. Oh well. Unfortunately and somewhat fortunately, when Bolivar was 14, his teacher Don Simon was forced to leave Venezuela after being charged of conspiring against the Spanish colonists in Caracas. After which Bolivar was sent to a military academy by an uncle, where he learnt a lot of discipline and the art of war. In 1800, he was sent to Madrid in Spain, where he met his first love, Maria Teresa, who later broke his heart as she died of yellow fever 5 months after the boat went back to Venezuela in 1802. Then he traveled back to Spain, not even fearing wife, Papa. But because he was constantly reminded of his late wife, he decided to travel to France, where he got disappointed by Napoleon, who was crowning himself king. A man who Bolivar looked up to as a just leader who believed in communism, a political system based on the idea that people are equal and that states should own companies. So he got furious about this and later traveled to Rome, where he was extremely inspired and vowed that he would liberate his people in Venezuela from Spanish colonists. In 1807, aged 23, Simon Bolivar traveled back home to Caracas, Venezuela, and this was the beginning of his freedom fight for his country, which would later result in something much more bigger than his initial intentions. In 1810, after Napoleon invaded Spain, Venezuela sent the government delegates of Spain packing. declared their freedom, and established the Supreme Junta of Caracas, which Bolivar wanted to be a part of but wasn't recognized, until the delegates wanted to travel to England for recognition and aid, and didn't have the money to travel. Then Bolivar offered to pay the expenses if they would allow him go. They later did, but with much pessimism, which actually turned out into a mistake, as they weren't recognized and offered aid as an independent nation, because England were allies with Spain. But before Bolivar left for Venezuela, he met another freedom fighter in London who he became friends with, Francisco de Miranda. Bolivar convinced Miranda to follow him back home to help with the freeing of Venezuela, which he did. But this friendship didn't last long, because Miranda later betrayed Bolivar and surrendered to the Spanish, who had risen up from the attack by Napoleon. But Bolivar intercepted Miranda before he could run away in the middle of the night and turned him over to the police. Miranda later died in a prison few years later. But in August 1812, Bolivar was able to escape to an island near Venezuela called Curacao before the Spanish forces came back to Venezuela, vowing to come back, and this time not only to liberate his home country, Venezuela, but to liberate Latin American countries, New Granada, now Colombia, Panama, Quito, now Ecuador, Bolivia, named after Bolivar, and Peru, as his hometown wouldn't be enough to face the mighty power of Spain alone. At this time, Bolivar had lost all his money and wealth to the Spanish Empire and was now broke, but his big dream burned inside of him like never before. Within months, Bolivar threw himself back into action. In 1813, he borrowed money from a man and sailed for New Granada, modern-day Colombia, where he heard the revolution was still alive. He had learned from his past experiences and was able to bring people together to follow his cause. And after conquering a lot of small cities, adding to his small force after every victory, he was able to establish the Second Republic of Venezuela, which didn't last long due to various bloody civil wars. And after losing hold on his grip on Venezuela, in 1815, he saw himself fleeing from New Granada to Jamaica after the British had finally kicked Napoleon out of Spain. He stayed there for 2 years until he survived an assassination and left for Haiti, where he was lucky enough to gain the support of the Haiti president, who gave him an army on the condition that he would stop slavery in every city he conquered. After a failed first attempt, Bolivar, through a series of battles ending in the Battle of Carabobo on 24 June 1821, took control of New Granada and Venezuela. And on the 7th of December 1821, Bolivar, after years of struggle, established Gran Colombia, consisting of modern-day Colombia, Ecuador, Panama, and Venezuela. Although it didn't last too long, Bolivar was able to, with his ever-growing army, free these regions from the colonialism of the Spanish, which would be his biggest achievement alongside other countries under Latin America, Peru and Upper Peru, later named after him as Bolivia. A lot of things happened within this period, but are quite cumbersome. Bolivar successfully achieved his dream of freedom from Spanish colonists in Latin American countries. After a lot of incidents, Bolivar resigned on April 1830 and sadly hated by many of the states he helped to liberate. But at this moment, there was nothing he could do because of his declining health, and on 17 December 1830, aged 47, Simon Bolivar died of, according to some people, tuberculosis in Colombia. Although some would say he died out of greed, but to him, every decision he made to solidify Gran Colombia that later collapsed and other Latin American countries was justified. Oh well, at least he helped them gain freedom. Well, that's it on today's episode of HMIH Fam. This episode got me really sunk in and thinking deep though, as this is an history worthy of learning so much from. But we just never learn. See you all in 2 weeks, fam, hopefully. I'm still your host, Damilare Mapa. Peace.